Troy still competes all the time. That motherfucker wins every single. And that guy does
A lot
not.
of gi stuff though. Yeah.
He does both.
He does both.
He actually, yeah, he does both. I think he competes no-gi more. To be honest
Oh
with you.
really?
How
How often do you guys do no-gi
I don't know
classes?
if that's because I don't know why. Because obviously, like he's got a lot of training
gi experience, right?
but his shoulders are fucked up, and his he's got a.
I
Dude,
feel like the talents
body
from
sucks.
gi transfer well to no gi. I feel like it does.
all the old school guys will say that gi makes your no gi game better. I
But
guess
not
so.
necessarily the same way
I
around.
guess I've done it for a few years now. My observation is that it helps you. The gi helps you get comfortable with grappling. Period, because you really have this like,
Tie up.
It makes you tie up. It makes you get really comfortable with like becoming a straitjacket for somebody, Whereas
Yeah, I think no gi has more scrambles. Gi has
Right.
more
that
controlled situations that you have to like break out of,
gi is like
tactfully and
it's like its
shit
own video game. It's like its own game, right? It's like literally you
Yeah.
have to navigate like which grip.
Mhm.
The collar grip, is it high? Is it low? Is it on the
Mhm.
sleeve? Is it on the elbow? Like, are they taking my lapel and like using it, like wrapping it on my own body? Where are my clothes? It's like
Yeah,
pretty much
that's the thing I
pretty much
think
like
about.
where it's
It's
at,
like you get tied down more, right?
Yeah.
Like my game in no-gi is very slippery
Yep.
and
Same.
very scrambly.
Yeah, for sure.
But in gi, like I've been asking like a couple of us that are like a lot of competitors and do a lot of stuff. Like we kind of want to do like once maybe twice a week, like there's some clothes on and like play around in a gi.
Yeah.
And he's like telling me, he's like, you don't want it. Like you really don't want
No,
it. Like
especially for your game.
you especially, like that's what he was saying to me. He's like,
No,
you especially
I back that up.
don't want it.
I back that up because that's how my game is. Like I'm very long. I'm fast.
Right.
I'm very strong for my size.
Right, but it's not brute strength. It's that long, consistent strength.
Yeah. And so I'm not like the big construction guy that'll just like smash it. But
Right.
I'm strong enough to like. I mean, the high level guys that really can like lead you, like they know how to manipulate you. They know how to like lead you into a bad position.
Right.
Like they'll get me gi or no gi. Does it like Evan or Levy
sure.
or some of the the old heads, like just because they know how to use my own movement against me so well, and they're just that far ahead. But anyone like around my level, like really, I mean, it's very rare that they'll get me, but they won't submit me. Like then that's what I mean. And it's like because I'm just strong enough to like maintain a position. If someone's going for a darce, like it's really hard to get me like get this arm. Like if I'm dropping a heavy lat and you can't like sink the darce up, it's really hard to get me to lose that.
Right.
So that plays to my that gives me. That's why I enjoyed no-gi more, is because it's all my body and my frames, and I'm strong with my frames.
Right, it's the frames.
And I'm also fast enough to adjust, and then to
I have slippery knees and
and
ankles.
yeah,
and
hooks.
hooks.
be good in a scramble, like be like directionally aware. Like, okay, I know when we end up rolling, I'm gonna be over here, and like I can still like slide a hook in or something.
Yeah.
In the gi, especially when I'm going like the old guys that are like fucking, they're not bodily strong. They just are like old man grip, and like they can just pin you when you have the gi on. And this is why I don't think you'll enjoy.
I'm not gonna like it so much.
I think you should do it.
I think I will improve my. That's what I keep telling my coach. I want that experience because I want my game to get shut down so bad.
Plus, I
have to learn other things.
I do think it is important from a self-defense.
Oh yeah, because you're wearing clothes.
Dude,
you're just wearing clothes.
Like, oh, we'll never work on clothes. It's like, dude, if you're wearing a heavy sweatshirt,
right?
Like that's not gonna rip.
Right.
Like a really thick like cotton thing, like
right. Or pants.
Choke you out with a hood. I'll choke like it's
jeans.
Literally, like if you have a belt on,
Not even a
Dude.
belt, just jeans. Literally,
yeah,
just jeans. Like you can grab somebody's pants.
It's true.
And
It's true.
pull them,
It's
you
it's
know?
good to know. It's like this how I am. I do it and I enjoy it because there's value there.
Totally.
Do I want to compete in it? No.
That's what I feel like.
Primarily,
Yeah, that's me.
And my primary reason,
I want the experience. I don't care about going to a gi competition though.
my primary reason for not competing gi is literally like I just see what gi people's hands look like.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Fuck
I'd
that.
rather be able to play guitar for like the rest of my life, you know, like
I want to type on a keyboard and still play
literally.
League of
I mean, it's
Legends
just
and
like
World of
they're like,
Warcraft.
it looks like it's like a club. It becomes like the knuckles are so gnarled.
Yeah, they get weird.
It's like this. But if any of those dudes, like we have a purple belt, he literally does every tournament. The guy's an absolute unit. His name's Jason. It's like middle age, just strong fucking dude. And I love rolling with him because it's always a good match and it's always like you're really getting, you're really you're really getting good work. You're getting a good look. He's just, he's smart. He's not like brutal. He's very methodical, but he's just strong as shit. But you put a gi on, you roll with Jason. It's like you're not moving. Like you have to, like play the. It's like it's all chess, but like gi is more of that. Like gi is more each individual. Like
I would
in no
say like
gi, you
no
can
gi is
just
4-dimensional wrestling, like because it's very much like no gi
fair.
feels a lot like wrestling in the sense that like it's slippery and stuff like that, but like you can now put your back on the ground, and so like it's different, right? So that's why I say it's 4-dimensional wrestling. Gi kind of seems like to me like in some ways like 5-dimensional wrestling because now you have clothes on.
Yeah.
So it's less slippery, but there's an extra dynamic. Like you see all those people doing those lapel guards and stuff like that with the lapel under the legs.
Yeah.
Like Keenan, is that his name, right? Keenan, he does all that shit, right? And like, so
he was the one.
I like it. I like.
Oh,
that's
the guy Jason, the guy I'm talking about. Keenan was like his guy. He just started taking all the worm guard stuff that Keenan was doing and brought it into class. So a lot of us were like learning how to at least how to deal with it.
That seems like the 10th planet gi shit to me. Right?
It's like it's like
10th, that's like the gi 10th planet, right?
It's
there.
literally like, dude. I mean, it's so goofy because honestly, it's really advanced. I mean, it's a really advanced way to think. Like which is cool, which is so fascinating that like it can exist this long and there's still this like there's always an evolution to it, and it's like
I mean like leg defense and no gi is like a mandatory fundamental now. It's like that's
100%.
not advanced anymore. That's
100%.
that's like maybe the attacks can qualify under advanced, but like the defense mandatory.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a lower weight guy, mandatory.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna be on your feet all day.
If you get in a leg, and that's kind of what I've noticed with legs is like once you get into a leg lock match.
You're in a leg lock match.
There's no way out. Like the second you try to leave, if you don't have to be Gordon Ryan. Like if anybody, if you try to leave.
Well, I love what Danaher says. It's like if the legs are there, if the legs aren't there, the body is there, and if the body's not there, then the legs are there. And it's just like that's so true.
There's something about the upper body though. It's like if we're grappling and I have any side control and you get a good escape, like it just kind of resets. Mm-hmm. Like if we get in a leg lock match and I try to leave that and anything and you do, it's like you're gonna get me. Like I can't
escaping is really
it.
not the solution. It's usually countering is the solution, unfortunately. And that's where you get in those like I call it like two cats in the back of an alley.
Yeah. I think
you just see them rolling around the mat and they're like
really the only way to do it is, and I'm not good enough at it to like articulate it, but Lovey will do it. Like you get in a leg lock match and he'll know how to counter and like not even Baron Bolo, but find a way to like manipulate and get on top, and he'll get on top, and then we have a position that we call it the 2150, and that's only because the guy that did the seminar that taught the position charged $2,150 for the seminar, so we call it the 2150. But it's basically like you're inside, or well, you're like laying on your back, your legs over, and then like you'd be on top with like knee,
Oh,
like you're
reverse
straddling.
stoner position.
Yeah, you're like straddling this leg, and you can like climb up into mount like from that spot if you clear the knee.
I think Eddie calls that like stoner lock or something like stoner
It's
position.
a pretty common position because
It's the one that he got in with Royler in the rematch, and they tried to reset him, and then he was like, "This is the position." And Royler was like, "No, my leg wasn't like this." And he was like, "Yes, it was."
Yeah, it was.
And then they were like, "No, put him at the feet." And Eddie was like, "Nah, fuck this." And then he like walks off the mat and like sits down, like threw a little temper tantrum, and then they put it on the screen. And he was like, "See?"
Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
He got his
I gotta watch that.
Yeah,
That's cool.
It was good.
That's cool.
It was good.
That's a very Eddie move.
Yeah, it was so good.
That's awesome.